Josh, if we did have to have, let's say, a couple of rate hikes by the middle of next year, would that be a problem for equities, or even still, do you think they can shrug it off?
No, historically, it's not a problem for equities. It might be a problem for valuation, but if you've got the economic growth and the earnings growth, more importantly, to go along with that, then it really isn't the end of the world. You might just see a different part of the market do better than it has over the last 10 years. And that's why you hear so much about rotation this, rotation that. We've had like 1 and 2 month rotations. Now imagine a 10-year rotation where the financials, the industrials, the energy companies remain relatively cheap and have good enough earnings growth to justify market leadership beyond just what we've seen so far in 2021. So that would be that type of environment. I know a lot of our viewers are too young to remember, but that's happened before. And I think it wouldn't be the worst possible thing for us to have new companies bubble up into the top 50 market caps in the S&P 500 beyond just all the technology names that have come to dominate it. So it would be a different regime. You would have to learn some new tricks and some new ways of thinking about the market. But look at the 1950s. They were raising rates the entire decade. It's the best decade for stocks ever, other than the 90s, which, oh, by the way, they were raising rates throughout the 1990s too. So we can live with it. We should have higher rates. By the way, they're not using transitory anymore because I think they know they're actually making inflation worse with $120 billion worth of stimulus every month, which I've been screaming about for the last 6 months. We do have these bottlenecks and these supply constraints all over the world, obviously, but then we have a Fed that's stoking demand relentlessly 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and feeding into those supply chain issues actually being worse than they would be if they allowed things to calm down a little bit. So I hope they start tapering. Taper will come, and it will be a relief to business people.